so many people say and really mean, I can't think of these ideas. Yeah, sure. I want to post on LinkedIn all the time, but like I don't have the ideas like you have, Dino. You got all the good ideas. I'm just a business person, right?
But they're all around us though. Like the ideas are literally all around us.
Ooh.
I've just literally, before I jumped into this meeting, I was on a call with somebody else.
Yeah,
He said that his posts weren't getting any kind of traction at all.
right.
I looked at his posts and they were all exactly, like where you just kind of, they're all samey. They're the same
Yes.
kind of corporate blah, right? Um, and I was just like, right. So part of the reason is, like, if you were to have I love bacon sandwiches, right? But if I ate a bacon sandwich every single day, I would eventually start to get a bit bored of bacon sandwiches, right?
100%.
So
You'd be trying out new
yeah,
fantastic sauces, all kind of things, right?
yeah, right. So I've had to say to this guy, look, what you're doing wrong is you haven't got a content marketing strategy. You need to be
Mhm.
kind of breaking down on a day by day basis what kind of content you're going to put out there. So, you
Love
know,
it.
if you were posting video content consistently on the platform but nothing else,
Mhm.
at some point LinkedIn's algorithm is going to go, uh-uh.
Yeah,
And your engagement levels are going to drop eventually. It
100%.
likes it like variety is the spice of life at the end of the day. So on a Monday, um, do a poll. On a
Sure.
Tuesday, do a long form text post. On a
Nice.
Wednesday, do a TikTok video or whatever. All I'm
Yeah.
saying is just mix it up a little bit, like showcase different forms of content, and LinkedIn's algorithm will reward you over the long term.
And you're absolutely spot on, Dino, as well. But not only the algorithm will reward you, but we've got a big thing here with when we create content of watch, read, listen, right?
Yeah,
So every time we create something, we try and think like, will this be available to people in each one of those medium? And why? Because I drive to work, right? So I want to listen to something. I want to listen to a
yeah,
podcast, or I want to listen to a nice 90s cheesy Whitney Houston song or something. Because I like a sing song in the car. But if I'm listening to business stuff, I'm probably going to listen to a podcast version of something.
yeah,
Whereas, say, John, who you met earlier, he might come in on the train, in which case he's got like the space to watch a video,
yeah,
blinded,
yeah.
wicked. Or someone else might carpool with someone and they hate them, in which case they might want to like stick their head down and read something. Well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the hardest part of of making those things is the idea. Like it's coming up with, I'm going to talk about this, and exactly what you did there, right? You posted out about something, and just from looking at it and seeing the response, we're like, poll.
Yeah,
This
you
would
just
make
gotta
a poll,
you're
right?
constantly learning, aren't you? And looking at, it's I was thinking about hashtags the other day, like
Hmm.
looking back at your post, look at the ones that have performed well, and then analyze that post and
Yeah.
look at what hashtags you used. Look at the way you formatted your post and learn lessons from the engagement levels that you've had in the past. And
Hmm.
then once you've figured out what's working, because different things will work for different people based
Sure.
on the audience
100%.
that they
Yeah,
have.
yeah,
So what I do might not work for somebody else, and what
yeah.
they do might not work for somebody else, and so on and so forth. So you have to kind of learn your own lessons when it comes to your content with regards to
Mm.
what works and what doesn't. But then whatever does work, rinse and repeat. Simple as that.
Exactly. But at the same point, while rinsing and repeating, try new things because
Oh
variety is the
yeah,
spice of life. And you
yeah,
never know if you're like you say, you're killing it with video. Video is speaking to your audience. Oh man, the leads are dropping in left, right, and center. Well,
yeah,
let's try some PDFs. Let's try some polls as well because you don't know that maybe you're doing really badly. Even if this is the most successful marketing thing you've ever done, potentially your whole audience is desperate for a poll. You
that's it.
post a poll, they're going to get in touch. So, and and that's what we always think about this watch, read, listen thing is like I want to make sure that if I've come up with a good idea, I've packaged it up in the medium for everyone. So we'll
Yeah,
write
yeah,
a
yeah,
text
yeah,
post about it because people might just be flicking through, want to read a little text post, or might be massively dyslexic like me and not really lean into long posts because you get a bit lost in them and want to
mm,
watch that message on a video. So again, by doing these ideas, right, very quickly you can sit down and say, okay, I had 5 good ideas, but I know that I'm going to release them all 2 different ways. I'm going to
yeah,
release
yeah,
them as
yeah.
an image, I'm going to picture of me being like, and as a text post on its own or something, right? So I've got 10 pieces of content. Well, I could release like 2, 3 times a week now,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just from those 5 ideas, right? And
That's
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 shouldn't
it.
be too hard.
Repurpose content. It's
Mm.
it's like it's the smart way to create content, right? It's a no brainer.
It really is. And if you go back again to sales, right? I know I always harp on about sales, but I'm the only marketing person on the planet who says that marketing doesn't work without sales. Like, we're trying to
Mm.
drive people to somewhere to actually, get a conclusion. That's not marketing's job. Marketing's job is the driving.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
um, so, and the same, exactly the same thing in sales is like, I want to get to the point where people understand it, and I want to keep giving them the information in kind of different ways. But as you said, with a templated or like reusing something, I absolutely used to have a vaguely templated intro that I would use, which
yeah,
I'd then personalize for each person. Why? Because I'm efficient. I want to
yeah.
sit there writing the same damn thing every time. That's ridiculous.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, you've got to work smartly, but don't never lose the personal touch. Like,
Mm,
so think about the way that you reached out to me for this live, for example. You
yeah,
you referenced my post. You talked about the content, and you were complimentary. And so, why do we use compliments? Well, because they make people feel good, and if you make people feel good, then they're likely to be that, they're gonna build rapport with you, and they're gonna,
yeah.
know, like, and trust you. Dare I say that again? So,
Yes, it's
so
very
yeah,
hard for me to trust and like someone if I don't think they like me.
exactly. Or if you were kind of abusive or whatever. So,
Wow, this
so
guy's
yeah,
aggressive. Yeah, yeah, come to the office.
yeah, 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 yeah. Absolutely, absolutely.
So our wonderful LinkedIn, well, the island that we all marooned on most days, apart from those of us who have the associated island TikTok, is changing things all the time. It's throwing new bits and pieces at us, right? So recently, ratings and reviews has changed. Tell the kids a little bit about it, Mr. Dino.
Yeah, ratings. I posted about it the other day. So ratings and reviews has been launched on the platform. It's not without fault. It could be better, but as with most things that are released on LinkedIn, they do get better over time.
Mm,
Um, so essentially, in the above the fold on your profile, if you drop to near the fold, so to speak, where it says providing services,
yep.
most people have added the services that they provide into that section, right? But if you now click on that area, that will take you through to your services page where you can find all about the services that someone offers. But more importantly, if you navigate to the bottom of that page, um, you're basically gifted with 20 credits from LinkedIn to request reviews and
Brilliant.
star ratings from your not prospects, from your clients.
Yes.
So you can reach out to the clients that you provided a good service to. So use those credits wisely, obviously. Reach out to people that you believe you provided a good service to, and request a review and a star rating. Um, I've just recently been doing that because it's, like I said, it's a recently new feature.
Mm,
The only thing that I don't like about it at the moment, if I'm honest, is that the overall star rating that
mm.
you achieve isn't visible on your LinkedIn profile unless you click into the
Click
the
through to it.
the providing services section.
Right.
So I think a wise move by LinkedIn would be to move that overall star rating to the outside of the profile,
Loud
make
and
it quite.
proud. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's I think that's what they do on Facebook, right? It's
Hmm.
you can see someone's overall star rating
Yeah,
on a
sure.
company page.
Or
So I
like
think it's
Google before you've actually clicked through and seen the reviews, and so
yeah,
you
yeah,
can have a
yeah.
look and be like 4.6. Okay, cool. And then have a look into it and see where we're at, as it
Absolutely.
will happen lately.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that LinkedIn will make a move to make that more prominent in the future.
Mm,
I have heard talk that, could this be a move to replace the recommendation section at the bottom
that's
of
what I
your
was just going to
profile?
ask. Mm,
Yeah, so it does seem to be kind of doubling up on the whole kind of recommendations section,
yeah.
but I do like the idea of star ratings. I do like the visual of seeing someone's star rating and an overall star rating. So who knows? Who knows what LinkedIn's got in
Funny
store?
enough, I'm always about the positivity and especially being positive on social. However, what I like about a rating over recommendations and seeing, like you say, those star ratings is there is nowhere for people to put negative
Yeah,
information, right? There
yeah,
is,
yeah,
you're not going to recommend, and obviously, me as a profile, if someone recommends my profile, I approve it. So
yeah,
having somewhere where people can put a rating and be like, no, terrible service, awful, and they're a shyster and they've stolen our business. Now, yes, that does lead you into a potential of like people abusing that.
Yeah.
Just like all rating systems. How many times has someone heard about their competitors going on Google and leaving one-star reviews left, right, and
Yeah.
center? That
Yeah.
is what we deal with in life. However, if you're pushing it, then hopefully you get to a point where you've got so many good clients out there that it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
there is. I did notice on the star ratings section
Mm,
of the services section that there is an area where you can report.
nice.
Now that all depends on how receptive kind of LinkedIn is to that report function. But yeah, it's nice to know that if somebody did say something that you didn't quite like or approve with, then
Yeah.
you could take some form of action.
And especially
Mhm.
considering LinkedIn's been so assaulted over the last couple of years with so many bot accounts and so many,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
just using it to max the 50 messages a day, and then they jump onto the next account and max it. And
yeah,
it would be nice if we can it'd be nice if we can kind of curate the overall content on, especially people who are using LinkedIn, and make sure it stays within what we're trying to achieve and doesn't necessarily become Twitter with just 60%. I'm probably saying that's too far, but 40% of them just made up accounts that are bots in some random country, and they're
yeah,
assaulting
yeah,
for one
yeah.
reason or another. I think it's
Mm.
been so powerful, and I got to admit, like, I've loved the change. I've loved watching a change of such a massive, massive entity over the last 5 years, because I'm sure you remember LinkedIn was my CV. It was just where my
Yeah,
CV
yeah,
was for a
absolutely.
while.
That's what it was. That's what it was for most people, and that's why I don't blame anybody for having a resume style profile,
Sure.
because we were kind of conditioned right from the start. So that's what it's for, right? But
Yeah.
and that's a question I ask most prospects when I jump on a
Mhm.
call with them. I'll say to them, what is a resume for? And they'll say, to get a job. And I'll go,
Sure.
okay, so what are you on LinkedIn for? And they say, to get
To get
clients. I'll
work.
say,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so so I'm like, okay, so you've got the wrong tool for the job. So
Uh-huh.
and that's where the whole kind of profile optimization journey starts. And so, for example, if you look at the experience section of someone's profile,
Mhm.
and what they'll typically have is a list of all the places that they've worked at, right? But if they're not looking for a job, it doesn't make sense to tell everybody about what we were doing sort of 10 years ago, because frankly, no one gives a shit. No one
No.
cares. No
Simple
one,
as that.
honestly, no one cares about what you were doing 10 years ago. All they care about is how you can help solve their problems. So what I basically share with my prospects is showcase where you work now, the business
Mm.
that you have now, right?
Mm.
And then add in the services that you offer, showcase the services that you offer, and go into detail about how those services can help your prospects.
Yes.
If you were to look at my profile, you'll see that my experience section is a very client centric landing page, effectively, and
Yeah.
not a resume style profile in any way, shape, or form.
Sure. Dino is great at, and he also helps with. No,
Yeah.
exactly. And I love, because you said it a couple of times, but I love the fact that you're saying no one cares. I
They
have been
don't.
screaming that from the
Yeah,
high
yeah.
heavens for years. Like, when someone calls up and pitches straight away, no one cares what you're selling. They
No,
don't
they
care that
don't.
you got a number to hit. They don't care that it's the end of the month and you're going to be fired. Like, they don't care. Maybe they do if they're super nice people, but is that going to push them into buying? No.
No.
However, if they've got a problem, if I go door to door knocking on people's doors and being like, "Hey, Dino, £2,000 and you get a brand new boiler," you're going
Yeah.
to be like, "No, I'm cool, thanks very much."
That's it.
However, if 4 doors down, I knock on Shmino's door, and Shmino opens a door, and there's water pissing everywhere. They're freezing cold because it's winter, and I'm like, "Hey, 2 grand for a new boiler."
Yeah.
Bam! There's the money.
Yeah,
Stick
yeah,
this
yeah.
bad boy in, right? So it's about making sure you're getting out there on a regular basis and saying the same things to people, but it's about their problem, right?
Yeah.
Because if I was to as opposed to knocking on the door and saying, "Do you want a new boiler?" If I was to be knocking on people's doors and saying, "Do you want to avoid water pissing out the walls and sitting here freezing at the wrong time in Christmas and ruining Christmas dinner?" That's something I can relate to, because I've got gran.
Unless it was me, because I'd love to be underwater, right?
You'd be like, "Get out of here, man. I'm waiting for this thing to burst." Right?
I've been waiting for this 20-year storm. What you on about?
Come on, I bought too good a boiler. It's a nightmare.
No, but
No,
what you just said there, like, stop selling, start helping, and guess what? You'll start selling. Simple as that, really.